In the bustling heart of Surulere, Lagos, lived three inseparable friends who had one goal in life: to slay no matter the cost. They weren't rich, but if you judged them by their Instagram pages, you'd swear they had private jets parked in their compound. Welcome to Afro Tales TV, your home for rich, exciting, and inspiring stories from around the world. Today's story will touch your heart and keep you hooked till the very end. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our amazing stories. There was Tonya, the self-proclaimed leader of the squad. She had the sharp tongue of a Lagos conductor and the confidence of a billionaire's daughter, even though her account balance often looked like a forgotten airtime balance. Tonya had mastered the art of big grammar. Whenever she was broke, she spoke louder and used bigger words. Her motto, "Packaging is survival." Then came Mimi, the most dramatic of the three. Mimi had perfected the skill of forming poses like she was on a Paris runway, even though her most exotic trip had been to Mile 2. Her captions on Instagram were legendary lies. Just touched down from Abu Dhabi, after trekking from Ojuelegba. Money moves only, with 1,200 naira in her account. If lying was a paying job, Mimi would have been on Forbes' cover. Lastly, there was Shalewa, the beauty of the crew. Her dimples were so deep they could trap coins, and her body had been sculpted by God himself. She was quieter, more reserved than her friends, but her face card always delivered the likes. Even when the other two looked like extras in a Nollywood film, Shalewa's beauty carried the squad. They lived together in a cramped one-room apartment with peeling paint, shaky windows, and a leaking zinc roof. Every evening, their neighbor, Mrs. Brown, a widowed trader who sold plantain chips, never failed to mock them. "Look at them again," she would shout from her corridor whenever they dressed up in borrowed wigs and skyscraper heels. "Borrow pose, borrow shoe, borrow bag, slay queens with empty stomachs. If fake life was rice, una for Don Chop Belful by now," Mimi once hissed. "Abeg, face your chips. Now your frying oil smell they disturb this compound every morning." But truth be told, Mrs. Brown's words hit them deep. Still, every night, the trio huddled in their tiny room, surrounded by ring lights, tripods, and borrowed iPhones, plotting their next Instagram takeover. One evening, as Tonya applied powder in front of their cracked mirror, she announced, "Babes, if we want to blow, we must stop taking pictures in this compound. Look at all the big influencers. Do you see them snapping near pit latrines and broken zinc? No, they're always at Oriental Hotel, sipping champagne by the pool." "Not true," Shalewa nodded, scrolling through her phone. "One girl just posted Oriental poolside. She already has 10,000 likes in 3 hours." "That's it!" Mimi jumped up like she'd discovered oil in her backyard. "Tomorrow, we go Oriental. We will take over Instagram. People will faint." The three squealed like children at Christmas, but the excitement was short-lived. Reality slapped them. "Wait, what will we wear?" Shalewa asked. Tonya waved her hand dramatically. "No wahala. Tomorrow we borrow from Mrs. Collins' boutique." And so the great plan was set. An Oriental Hotel photo shoot that would either crown them queens or disgrace them forever. The next morning, the girls marched to Mrs. Collins' boutique, Royal Elegance. The boutique was their unofficial costume store, though Mrs. Collins herself was tired of their antics. A big woman with loud makeup and perfume that entered a room before she did, Mrs. Collins was no nonsense. Her assistant, Sandra, however, was sharp-mouthed and had a special hatred for broke slay queens. As the trio entered, Sandra folded her arms. "Ah, these ones again? What do you want this time? Last week you borrowed gowns and I heard one of you spilled Zobo on it. Do you think this is charity?" "Good afternoon, Sandra dear," Mimi sang in her most fake British accent. Looking fabulous today. Please, stop flattering me, Sandra snapped. Do you people even buy anything here? Tonya ignored her, raising her chin. Where's Mrs. Collins? We came for business. Mrs. Collins emerged, fanning herself with a magazine. Business? Tonya, you still haven't paid for the gown you borrowed for that birthday party? And you want to borrow again? My boutique is not a costume department. Madam Collins, don't talk like that, Tonya gasped, clutching her chest like she was stabbed. We are your loyal promoters. Do you know how many tags we give you on Instagram? We make you relevant. Sandra rolled her eyes. Relevant my foot. Shalewa stepped forward, her dimples glowing. Please, Ma. This one is big. Oriental hotel shoot. If we tag you, customers will rush here. It's free publicity. Mrs. Collins sighed. You girls will kill me one day. Never! Mimi cried dramatically. God forbid bad thing. After half an hour of begging, swearing, and fake promises, Mrs. Collins reluctantly handed over 3 gowns. A red sequined gown with a dangerous slit for Tonya. A golden figure-hugging dress for Shalewa. A green bodycon for Mimi. Each gown came with heels taller than a traffic light. Return them tomorrow, Mrs. Collins warned, her voice firm. If not, I'll post your faces online and write thieves on it. Sandra clapped her hands in mock applause. Borrowed life ambassadors, God help you. The girls ignored her, already imagining their Oriental captions. Saturday came. The trio stood before Oriental Hotel, their borrowed gowns glistening under the sun, wigs shining like fresh tires. Chai! C-building! Mimi whispered. God, when? Behave, Tonya ordered. Today we are daughters of billionaires. Confidence is key. They marched in like royalty. The security guard eyed them suspiciously, but didn't stop them. At the poolside, they ordered 1 glass of champagne, 9,000 naira. All 3 shared it like communion. Hold it like it's yours, Tonya instructed, snapping photos of Shalewa. Perfect. Caption this one. Sipping life effortlessly. They staged shots, Mimi laughing into the distance, Tonya adjusting her wig like she owned the hotel, Shalewa dipping her legs in the pool. Guests looked at them, whispering, but they didn't care. Then came the bolt problem. Who's paying transport back? Shalewa asked. Silence. Tonya, I beg, use your card, Mimi suggested. My card? Tonya scoffed. That thing is crying. If I swipe it, it may commit suicide. Shalewa, what about your new boyfriend? He only sent good morning, beautiful. No money attached. The argument heated up. You people want to disgrace me? Tonya shouted. No, it's you with your big English that's disgracing us. Mimi fired back. In the heat of the quarrel, Mimi tried to record a video but mistakenly pressed live. Thousands of followers tuned in as the trio argued about bolt fare, boutique debts, and sharing champagne 3 ways. Wait, is this live? Shalewa whispered, horrified. Mimi froze. In? Live? By the time Tonya fumbled to switch it off, it was too late. The damage was done. Within hours, the video spread like wildfire. Meme pages reposted it with savage captions. Borrowed gowns, borrowed life. Slay queens share communion wine at Oriental. Soft life Doncast. Comments flooded. Is this not the same Mimi who claimed she was in Dubai last week? Nasurulere Dubai, I guess. Shalewa is fine Shah, but poverty no day respect beauty. Tonya's grammar is bigger than her account balance. Their ex-boyfriends joined the roast. Kelvin tagged Chris. See your ex. Oriental disgrace. Shalewa's family WhatsApp group buzzed. Her cousin posted the video with laughing emojis. An aunt replied, So this is the oil company job she bragged about? The worst blow came from Mrs. Collins herself. You little thieves, she screamed over the phone. Return my gowns or I'll post your faces as wanted. And don't think I'm joking." The girls hid in their room, phones switched off, faces buried in pillows. Mimi wailed dramatically, "God, my career is over." "Which career?" Tonya snapped. "Borrow and snap?" Shalewa sighed. "We're finished." But they weren't finished yet. Lagos still had more disgrace in store. After the Oriental disgrace, the girls went underground for 1 week. They barely stepped outside. Mimi even wore sunglasses to buy pure water at night. But hunger is a stubborn visitor. One evening, they sat in their tiny room, staring at a half-empty loaf of agege bread. "We cannot end like this," Tonya declared, pounding the table like a politician. "We must reinvent ourselves." Mimi raised an eyebrow. "Rain what?" "My dear, my stomach is empty, not my dictionary." Shalewa sighed. "Let's do business. Real business." And so began their hustle era. They pooled 15,000 naira and bought cheap waist trainers from Balogan Market. Tonya branded them with markers as Slim Queen Pro Max. Their first customer was a chubby woman named Brenda. She met them at Ojuelegba bus stop. "Will this really work?" Brenda asked, eyeing the waist trainer. "Madam, in 2 weeks, your waist will look like Coca-Cola bottle," Mimi assured with the confidence of a liar. Brenda paid 8,000 naira. The next day, she wore it to work. At lunchtime, as she bent to pick her spoon, the waist trainer snapped so loudly it sounded like gunshot. Brenda screamed, "Jesus!" and nearly fainted. The office security thought it was robbery. By evening, she stormed to their compound, waving the torn trainer. "Give me my money back!" she shouted. "Fraudsters! Scam artists!" Mrs. Brown, the neighbor, rushed out laughing hysterically. "I knew it! Fake life! Fake business!" The girls refunded Brenda and lost their capital. Not ready to give up, they organized an online seminar. How to Slay 101, Unlock Your Soft Life. Fee, 20,000 naira. They printed flyers, sent WhatsApp broadcasts, and posed in borrowed wigs for promotions. On D-Day, only 3 people showed up. 2 broke boys hoping to learn how to catch sugar mummies, and 1 confused old man who thought it was a fitness class. Tonya stood before them, wearing Mrs. Collins's old heels. Lesson 1. Confidence. To slay, you must walk like the ground owes you money. She strutted across the room, but her heels snapped in half. She tumbled to the floor like a falling coconut. Mimi burst into laughter mid-demonstration of seductive pout. The students laughed too. "Refund us," one shouted. The class ended in chaos, with Sandra, Mrs. Collins' assistant, posting the fiasco online. Shalewa suggested a YouTube channel, Soft Life Sisters. They borrowed a neighbor's ring light and began filming. "Hi guys, welcome to our channel," Shalewa said sweetly. "Smile better," Tonya snapped. "Cut! Start again," Mimi shouted, shaking the camera. As they argued, Nipa struck. Darkness swallowed the room. Mrs. Brown's voice boomed from outside. "Nepa dawn off light! Perfect timing for fraud girls!" When the video finally uploaded, it had 37 views, 25 of which came from Mimi replaying it on her own phone. Things got worse when Mrs. Collins herself stormed their compound one afternoon. She arrived in her SUV, horn blaring like police siren. Sandra followed with a camera. "Where are those thieves?" Mrs. Collins shouted. The whole compound gathered. Children laughed, adults pointed. The girls emerged trembling. "Return my gowns today or I'll arrest you," Mrs. Collins thundered. "We already returned them," Tonya stammered. "Returned? Sandra, show them." Sandra whipped out her phone, playing the Oriental live video. "Look, evidence! This is my madam's red gown. You think the internet forgets?" The crowd howled with laughter. Mrs. Brown almost rolled on the ground. "So na Oriental disgrace una carry my gown go?" Mrs. Collins barked. The girls begged on their knees. "Please, ma, forgive us." She eventually collected 10,000 naira as dry cleaning fee and left after Sandra had uploaded the confrontation on TikTok. By nightfall, the video had gone viral again. Ironically, their disgrace opened a new door. A comedy producer named Richard Blake saw the viral Oriental video. He couldn't stop laughing at Shalewa's facial expressions. "This girl is a natural actress," Richard said. "Find her for me." Days later, Shalewa received a message. "Come audition for a skit series tomorrow." The girls were stunned. "You? Actress?" Mimi teased. "Yes," Shalewa said nervously. "Should I go?" Tonya shrugged. "Go. At least one of us might blow." The next day, Shalewa wore her only decent dress and went to the audition. "Action!" the director called. She had to act like a confused rich girl. Shalewa nailed it effortlessly. It wasn't even acting. It was her real life. Richard laughed so hard he clapped. "Perfect! You've got the role." Shalewa beamed. For the first time, her beauty was bringing real opportunity, not fake life. Weeks later, the trio sat at a roadside food joint, plates of amala and goat meat before them. For once, they weren't pretending. Tonya licked her fingers. "This is the real soft life." Mimi laughed so hard she spilled her soup. Caption this one: "Original babes, no filter, no lies." Shalewa smiled, her phone buzzing with new followers. Her comedy skits were blowing up online. For the first time, they didn't need filters, lies, or borrowed gowns. Just amala, friendship, and laughter. Mrs. Brown walked past, shaking her head. Finally, sense done enter una head. The girls laughed even louder. Moral lesson: no matter how glamorous fake life may look on social media, the truth will always surface, and pretense never lasts. Tonya, Mimi, and Shalewa learned the hard way that borrowed luxury brings borrowed shame, while real happiness comes from honesty, hard work, and embracing who you truly are. True beauty and success don't come from filters, lies, or borrowed gowns. They come from living authentically and building a life you don't need to fake. Thank you for watching this story on Afro Tales TV. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and share with friends and family. We have more beautiful stories coming your way. So subscribe and stay tuned. See you in the next one.